What makes a good RBG leader? I've asked a lot of people, and most of them say, well, they need to know the strats. So we're going to start there today. A lot of people, I think, like to over-trivialize calling strat. Yet it's something that's incredibly important towards the success of the game. I've played with RBGs that we should have lost. That in a team fight, we couldn't hold our own for longer than a few seconds. And yet, because I had a team that could follow directions fairly well, and because I had a pretty good strat to counter what the other team was doing, we ended up pulling out victory. There's 3 things that you want to think about when you're coming up with a strat. In this video, I could go through and tell you my strats for each of the different maps, and maybe that would be enough. But it wouldn't last. So I want to go through and kind of abstract out what it is to come up with a strat. A lot of times when I'm running RBGs and we bring in a pug, we'll go into a certain map and they have a particular strat that they say, oh, this is the strat we should do. This is the meta. This is what everyone is doing. And usually to humor them, or just because I'm curious, I'll let them take the reins and be the strat caller. Sometimes it works out and I end up learning something and it was totally worth it. But more often than not, what they think is a strat is just the first part of the strat, which is what I call the opener. They say, if it's Arathi Basin, for example, they say, oh, we're going to send the hunter to farm and we're going to send the rogue to mines and everybody else goes BS. Well, that's an opener for a strat. We go and do that, and if it works, it works, but if it doesn't, then all of a sudden that person gets really quiet. And this is what I mean by, that was the first part of the strat. What are you expecting from your leader for the rest of the game? The second part of the strat is what I call the maintenance. Say your opener worked, whatever you did. People went places, they took bases, they picked up a flag, they had a team fight in mid, and it all worked out. You still got the rest of the game to maintain your advantage. How are you going to do that? Going back to Arathi Basin, an example of a maintenance strat could be, we're going to sit the hunter at farm, we're going to sit the rogue at mines, and we're going to sit the mage at BS. Say that opener actually worked. But then we're going to have basically assign a healer to float between farm and mines, and a healer to float between mines and BS, and another healer to float between BS and mines. That way you've got healer coverage for all 3. And then you have everybody else floating between those 3. That's one type of maintenance. It might not work, especially if the other team is aggressive or can get a quick sap cap, or there's a number of strategies to counter that. I'm just throwing this out as an example of a maintenance strategy. The third part of strat building is what I call basically the reset. What do you do when things did not work out? How do you reset the game and try something else? This is if you went in and you just got wiped by the other team. This part, I think a lot of this is probably the part of strat that gets forgotten more often than not. There's a lot of strat callers out there that they know the strats they know, or they know a strat for each map and they can communicate it well, but they have no clue or are terrible at how to pull the group together when things are going badly, and how to modify a strat mid-game to try and make a comeback. So the reset, again, sticking with the Arathi Basin analogy, could be, if things go wrong, we're going to wait for everyone to res, and we're going to group up on the road between farm and BS, assuming that we own farm. And then we're going to push into BS while sending a stealth team to mine. Maybe all we have is farm. That's a reset right there. I gathered everyone up, calmed everyone's nerves. I didn't trickle in. That's the key to most resets, is you can't let your team trickle into anything. You have to get them all together and to basically do a new start. And then change the strat. If it's, I mean, you might do the same thing, and maybe you just were off by a little bit in winning the team fight at BS or something. But more often than not, you're going to have to try something completely new. That's the reset. Now, if you can come up with strats for each of the maps, and now when I say strat, I mean the opener, the maintenance, and the reset. Write those down, because you're going to have to, even if you throw it away, as a strat caller, you're going to have to communicate those 3 bits to your whole team over and over and over again. You'll probably have to repeat yourself during the game. That's the beginning of strat calling. And if that's all you get this week, that's progress. As you do this more and more, you're going to come up with better strats, you're going to come up with more options, you're going to come up with modifiers to those strats. And I'll do some more videos where I actually talk about individual maps, types of maps, be it capture the flag or nodes or any other type of map, and how that changes the opener, the maintenance, and the reset. I wouldn't be surprised if these terms are new to you. I kind of made them up for myself, and they're not common knowledge, but it's a different paradigm for thinking about how to call strat. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Post me a few questions, I'd be happy to interact with you down there. And if not, I'll be coming up with more videos to answer some of those questions. Thanks for joining me this week, and I'll see you next week with another video.
They're 1800, so we'll get some points out of this shit.
Oh shit, what the fuck?
Guys,
I told you Foxy was good.
The morale kill was real here. 4 players after 2.
Bro, you've only been in here for 2 minutes.
I haven't had much to heal in the first place.
They just had
You guys better start taking some damage or I'm breaking out crackling lightning.
Oh yes, break it out.